Critical Role reveals a new one-shot, D&D returns to a fan-favorite setting, and Daggerheart gets a release date as pre-orders begin.
It's going to be something real special, and it's just the beginning.
Welcome to Tabletop News Tuesday on the Character Sheet, where we break down all the week's biggest fantasy and TTRPG news. Today we have some big Critical Role updates, including a new one-shot, and the man behind that huge moment last episode revealing some new insights. D&D making a return to a fan-favorite setting, and Warhammer giving you a chance to become an actual Space Marine? So please take a second to hit those like and subscribe buttons so we can keep making these videos, and then, let's dive into the news.
Holy there's a lot of news.
Critical Role and Darrington Press have just revealed the release date for the final version of Daggerheart, along with announcing the beginning of pre-orders. In a new video, Critical Role has revealed that Daggerheart will be releasing in spring of 2025, and you can now pre-order 2 different editions of the core set. The standard core set will get you the 300-page hardcover Daggerheart rulebook and a box containing 279 of the illustrated cards for your domains, classes, backgrounds, and more, all for $59.99. Or you can pre-order the limited edition version of the core set for $149.99, which includes alternate cover art, a GM screen, dice sets, tokens, unique artwork, and more, all of which Critical Role say they will never produce again. The fact that Critical Role is going straight into production and not taking their Daggerheart TTRPG to crowdfunding is a huge sign that the cast all have a ton of faith in their new RPG. And we can't wait to see the final rules for ourselves when they debut at the Daggerheart Christmas live show this December.
Good news, everyone!
Critical Role has announced a new one-shot featuring friend of the channel Johnny Stanton and his new Sync supplement for D&D 5th edition. Stanton and Sam Rusk, the amazing illustrator behind the tattoo-style artwork featured in the Sync book, will be joining Critical Role for a one-shot next week to celebrate the launch of Sync on Kickstarter, which has already blown past its funding goal in 10 minutes since going live earlier today. They will be joined by Marisha Ray and Taliesin Jaffe for a piratical adventure set in the world of Sync, with Rick Eskevius acting as GM for the session. Sync is a pirate and tattoo-themed supplement for D&D 5e that offers a ton of new nautical-themed subclasses, a wide library of magical item tattoos, and even modular pirate-themed dungeons to drop into nearly any campaign. So if your home game is missing a little salty sea dog spice, check out the one-shot with Critical Role next Tuesday the 24th, or swing by Kickstarter now to get more details on Sync.
All those who sign without delay will get a free tattoo.
And keeping with Critical News, Abu Bakr Salim, the Archheart himself, took to Twitter yesterday to shed some new insight on that massive, game-changing moment in the last Critical Role episode, where it was revealed that some of the gods want to abandon Exandria as well.
You two can truly control this thing and chase us off. How's that sound?
Abu confirmed that he had in fact never GM'd before, and that Matt Mercer and the Critical Role cast and crew empowered him to make those huge choices with all their support and inspiration, allowing him to pull off that incredible performance as the Archheart outlined his plan to scare the gods away from Exandria forever. As revealed in the cooldown last week, the plan was basically created by Abu, with Matt Mercer giving him free rein to respond how he felt the Archheart would respond. So by creating this amazing atmosphere of support and openness, Critical Role just helped Abu potentially reshape the entire future of Exandria, and we can't wait to see how that plays out when the show returns this Thursday.
Can't wait!
Speaking of returns, D&D is returning to the beloved Ravenloft setting, this time with a brand new novel featuring the return of a fan-favorite character. While no author was mentioned for the listing of the book on Penguin Random House's website, it did reveal some of the plot of the now untitled Ravenloft story. Quote, journey to the domains of Dread and face the fearsome Count Strahd von Zarevich in this upcoming official Dungeons & Dragons novel. A group of adventurers must fight their way through a dark and twisted realm known as the Domains of Dread, where powerful Dark Lords rule over worlds filled with supernatural horrors. So are we finally getting an official novelization for the Curse of Strahd? It certainly sounds like that's a distinct possibility, but either way, everyone's favorite vampire lord will return in the new Ravenloft novel, due out April 15th, 2025.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Warhammer 40k is offering players a chance to become a Space Marine themselves, as they have just unveiled their new Space Marine 2 Defenders of Avarax VR experience. Partnering with Zero Latency VR, the VR experience centers you see popping up across the country, Defenders of Avarax lets you and up to 7 of your friends take on the role of a Space Marine trying to wipe out a massive horde of Tyranids in fully 3D VR. With a Zero Latency VR setup, you and your friends basically adventure room to room inside a huge 3D VR environment, trying to clear the entire area of Tyranid swarms with a variety of different weapons. This experience is the only way to really become an actual Space Marine without hours of painful gene seed surgery, and you can start booking your sessions of Defenders of Avarax today. The event goes live at Zero Latency centers across the country next week, and the first 5,000 bookings get a commemorative Warhammer coin as well. So if you feel like flaming Tyranids for the Emperor, go check it out.
For the Emperor!
Chaosium has just announced they will be bringing back their classic ElfQuest RPG for a new printing that will include the original ElfQuest, the official role-playing game, and all the original supplements for it in a brand new Kickstarter this October. ElfQuest, based on the popular comic that debuted in 1978 and centered around a tribe of elves living on a primitive two-moon world called Abode, with humans, trolls, and other creatures, was one of the first major indie comic hits, gaining so much traction that Marvel republished the entire series in 1985, and DC Comics later bought the rights to it entirely in 2003. The ElfQuest RPG uses Chaosium's basic role-playing system, and will let players either create their own elf characters, or play some of the best-known characters from the comic series, like Cutter and Skywise. And while ElfQuest was something of a commercial failure when it first launched, being labeled as a little too complex for fans of the comics, by today's standard, the basic role-playing system is very approachable, so maybe this will finally be the huge TTRPG success ElfQuest deserves when the Kickstarter launches this October.
But I want it now!
And finally, Netflix's Geek Week has revealed a first look and a release date for Castlevania Nocturne Season 2. When we last left off, Richter Belmont had reawakened his tremendous magical power, and then promptly found out that was not enough to stop the plans of the Vampire Messiah until he was saved by the sudden reappearance of Alucard, which abruptly ended Season 1. Season 2 seems to be picking up right where we left off, with Alucard now teaming up with yet another Belmont to try and stop the vampire's plot to take over the world. The first season got a lot of flack for its sort of non-ending, and the way the newly awakened Richter Belmont seemed pretty helpless against his main enemy, even with his increased magical powers. But perhaps the return of Alucard will give Richter Belmont the push he needs to truly defeat the Vampire Messiah. Either way, we won't have to wait too long, as Season 2 will drop this January 2025. And that's all we have for this week on Tabletop News Tuesday. Let us know what story was your favorite in the comments, and please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.